Hi guys, welcome to Cars and Health Bars. I hope you all had a wonderful week and are ready for a podcast. With that being said, let's get right into it. So, if you spotted us at LS Fest, there were so many people there. Honestly, I don't know what your takeaway is from it, but man, it's just there's getting to be so many people. It's almost hard to enjoy everything because of how many people there are.
Yeah, it's
But
been like that for a few years now, I would say.
I wouldn't have
That's why I
mind.
typically don't stay as long.
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded staying and watching some drifting, but I did not want to have to root through those bleachers and try to find a seat.
Yeah.
I enjoyed LS Fest overall. If you saw our social media post, we actually got to talk to the Magnum guys for a little while. That was really neat.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I had no idea they actually had a place in Michigan.
Yeah, I didn't either. It makes sense though. It's heart of American motorsports right there in Michigan.
Yeah, the
So
history.
I did want to get your take because I obviously wasn't able to attend, but how are the after meets this year? I know you and Tyler hit up one and kind of get your take on how that went.
It's busy for sure, man.
Even the
There's
after
just
meets?
people. Yeah, there's just people everywhere. Me and Tyler went to the gas station, and the E85 pump only had one side working. Oh my God.
Huh.
You should have seen the line.
Wow.
We
That's
just threw some 93 in and sent it.
that's the worst part about Bowling Green is there's only one or two places to get E85, and like it's ours. Seems like only one of them works half the time,
Yeah,
or there's somebody blocking it. But I'm pretty sure
that's the worst.
if somebody was blocking it on that night, they'd probably get their teeth smashed in or something.
People are getting their fuel, that's for sure.
Huh. Uh, how much activity was there from BGPD?
Yeah, I didn't see any, but I heard they were really bad. A friend of the shop's got a reckless driving ticket.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah, they were giving out some harsh ones.
I love that meme that goes around every year of Ed Bassmaster flipping off, and it says BGPD says don't do burnouts or something, and then it's like
Yeah.
LS Fest.
Yes, sir.
I do miss working night shift because I'll never forget the memory of like I couldn't attend LS Fest. Actually, I couldn't attend it Friday, but I could Saturday. But I remember I went out for lunch on Friday night, and I drove all the way to the Scottsville Road Chick-fil-A just so I could get an idea of what was driving around. Dude, it's like the whole city of Bowling Green was chopping. Like
Yeah.
everything around was hitting a lick. Like Bowling Green, it's like Bowling Green's whole city is during like a streetcar takeover during LS Fest weekend.
Yeah.
It was a
Just the
lot.
whole city is rumbling.
What are your thoughts on the record that was set Sunday at Beach Bend with the stock block class?
I didn't even hear about that. I don't know.
The stock block class, I believe his name was Dylan Cato, ran a 420 at 175 on a stock block with like 120 millimeter or 102 millimeter turbo.
Damn, that's a big turbo.
Yeah, I mean stock block too, man. That's incredible.
I can I can see that out of stock block. I mean, he might go through a few blocks if he gets real reckless with timing or he just wants to play in the fun zone.
Yeah. Uh, I don't know if you've heard, but everybody is talking about the jump that happened at LS Fest at the dirt track with the station wagon.
Yeah, that thing was, dude, that was the craziest jump I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think they set a record or something for the farthest jump, like in a station
Oh,
wagon.
he sent it, dude. It was like Wreckfest.
Homie was trying to hit the bull.
It was, dude.
Yeah. You know that is my biggest regret about LS Fest this year is we didn't watch any dirt track racing. It sounded like that was the place to be.
It did, honestly. I think it's like not as many people are there too, so probably a little bit better to get around over there.
Yeah, I think they should have spread. Well, I guess realistically it is hard to get like a tractor truck trailer up there, but there it feels like they could have got some of the smaller vendors up there and kind of spread everything out. It kind of that area was really like barren, other than the car, it being parking lot. I don't know, man. It keeps getting bigger and bigger. I don't know what they're gonna do. I mean, that little farm back there is only so big.
Yeah.
I just remember,
I mean, there's a lot of room if they really wanted to go crazy.
yeah. Well, I'm sure they make the money to be able to go crazy.
I just don't feel like they're gonna do it. I don't know. There's a lot of people there, but I really don't know how much more you could expand it. I mean, what would you do? Another like drift pad or something?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I agree. They pretty much maximized what all they could do. I mean, the Boxo challenge is pretty cool addition. The Dino, I don't agree with it, but it's that's definitely a cool thing to have there. Uh,
You don't agree with it? Why?
I just think it's stupid to like, especially if you have access to like a tuner like we do, to have some random guy rip your car on a dyno and like blow it up. Like, I don't know. It's not my memo. I wouldn't be up there doing it. I know what my
I
car
mean,
makes. I ain't
I'd
trying to.
probably do it. Like once I get my car built, I'd
Yeah.
probably be up there like, yeah, look what I'm about to set down, boys.
I can't wait. I was talking about your 416 today at work. I was like, you have no idea what my buddy's about to have. I was like, that guy with that white Camaro? I said, he not only is he doing the LSA, but he also doing that 416.
No replacement for that displacement.
That is right. You gotta have more room for that air and fuel to go through.
Yes, sir. That engine on my engine,
Engine on my engine.
it that air pump on my air pump, it
What
gotta be bigger.
what's the displacement of the LSA? Do you know?
1.9.
Oh, okay. Dang. Your LSA's got
Uh,
bigger displacement than my wife's terrain.
It's not even that big. I mean, there's 3.8 liter blowers out there.
Oh yeah, I know. The
2650 is pretty average.
Yeah, I thought the biggest Whipple or maybe it was the Hellcat or Demon is
Three
like,
liters.
yeah, I thought they were like 3.9, 3.8.
Whipple makes a lot of 3 liters that Camaro guys seem to run.
Yeah. Uh, so kind of what I wanted to hit on today, other than the LS Fest stuff, is a topic that I've kind of avoided because we have very differing opinions on this topic, and it's because of me being closed-minded. So,
I'm intrigued.
I'm wanting to talk about EV engine noises.
Okay.
So we'll just get your side of it, how you feel, because you obviously are all for it, and I'm just closed minded to it. So we'll get your side of because I feel like a lot of people are going against like EV engine noises. They think they're dumb, they think they're stupid, and I just wanted to hear your take because you have the differing take of you'll just
I'd
explain
prefer
yourself.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I'd prefer it. I think you would get more like, it would just feel like feedback. Because you don't get much sound from an EV. I don't know how loud Teslas are. I've rode plenty of Ford electric vehicles. And they got a little noise to them, but, it's like adding, like, the wine tube to your LSA or something, You want that noise. I'm about it. Give me the cool noise.
yeah. After giving it some thoughts, obviously, I think a lot of it has to do with everybody is close minded to this because it's artificial. It's not being produced by the engine. It doesn't give you that raw feeling of my engine is making this sound naturally. It's not artificial, and the more I think about it, I don't agree. I mean, not that I don't agree with it, but I agree with the idea that it kind of sucks that it's not natural. But that's the only way to get sound out of an EV. It's an electric setup. You're not going to get any sound other than gravel crunching and maybe I don't know. They shouldn't whine or anything unless something's going bad on it. But yeah, I think a lot of people just need to move on and understand that it's either all or nothing with these EVs. You're either going to have engine noise that's artificially made, or you're not going to have anything at all because they don't make noises, naturally.
Yeah, I mean, who cares? Like, I just want some cool noise. Like, everyone wants that in a car. That's why you get turbos half time. I don't get that sputter.
Yeah, and like I said, it's either that or it's nothing. Because I mean,
You want to ride a car that just like is no road noise, like it's just white noise. Like that don't sound entertaining.
I'm telling you, after I got my I want to say it's after I got my straight pipes. I probably didn't listen to the radio for like the first 3 times I drove it because I was just so
Hmm.
intoxicated by the sound. I'm like, God, it's just like this is this is what raw power sounds like coming from a naturally aspirated V8 engine, an LS, no less. Like it just,
Hmm.
I don't know. Coming from driving a V6, and I'm me myself, I'm obsessed with loud engine like sounds. That's just what I'm about. That's why I haven't put any muffler on my car. I like Jordan's sound, and I like muffled cars a lot. I like the different tones they get, but I'm like obsessed with volume. So it's like my car being really really loud. It's just I'm about it, man. It just like that response of like the gas. I give it gas. I hear it. Like it's just, man, it's just like a rush for me. It's like that rush that people get whenever they make more power. That's how I feel whenever it's like loud. And whenever I got my V8 car straight piped, I was like, oh my god, this is intoxicating. Like this is amazing.
Couldn't be me.
Yeah. Uh,
What'd you think about me leaving today, huh?
yeah. You was having a hard time putting the tire down too. This cooler air, buddy. I'm telling you.
I was trying to slide her a little bit there. I came around and came back around again.
Whenever you whenever we split up and you went down the other road, I was like, golly, I said, that is the most American thing ever. Haney's right. You need you a third gen to be driving shirtless like that, shirtless and reckless.
Yes, sir.
Need you a third gen and a PBR or a Bush Light or something,
The PBR is what I'm taking.
and a trailer to park that thing in front of. Speaking of trailers, completely off topic, and I just keep forgetting to tell you this. So, my small town of Fountain Run, you know how I told you about our medical center here?
Yeah,
See, I told you it was a trailer, right? Double wide.
yeah.
I got that completely wrong. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's not a double wide trailer. It's actually a single wide trailer.
Really?
Yeah, I told my mom about it.
Proud.
It's like it don't get no more redneck than a double wide trailer for a medical center. She said a double wide. She said we got a single wide trailer. I'm like, oh my god, how is it legal to
That's
perform?
awful.
How is it legal to like perform medical anything there? It just like it's crazy to me. Anyways, that
It'd
was
just be like that. Small town life.
I just completely forgot. Like, why even have it at that point? I don't understand. That was like a completely off topic thing. I just kept forgetting to tell him it irritated me. But back to the
Mm.
EV stuff, I wanted to mention a lot of what's making people buzz about it again. Originally, of course, it was with the Dodge. Was it the Charger, Challenger, whatever they had on the showroom? Uh, they came out making like the fake Hellcat noises, and everybody was like super peeved. It's like, oh my god, this is terrible. Get it out of here. But what's got everybody buzzing about it again is Lamborghini is getting on board with the EV engine sounds. They are also going to have
Of course.
programmable engine noises, and it only makes
I mean,
sense.
Borla's already got, a EV exhaust, like, replication system,
So how's that going to work? Is it going to be like a chip, a program? Is it how are they going to add
I
that?
don't really know the details.
And I wonder if the cars even come from speakers from the factory for exhaust. I'm sure certain brands do. Of course, we saw Dodge is implementing that, but that would be kind of something to look into if like
And their
GM,
cars, even like Porsches and stuff, already have a little bit of that added in nowadays. Like, they've been doing that for a while.
the exterior engine noises.
Like, interior, like,
I've heard of that before. Like
yeah, they do that.
I mean, the cars are so quiet, and you
Like,
don't really.
turbo noises, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you get that in some of the Porsches and stuff.
I did see a point online. They kind of mentioned like uh, it's fake and it don't feel real, and it's just like it's just so disturbing to have. I don't know, kind of a crude way of putting it is like a girl faking during love making. It's like that's what it feels like. I'm like that's like not a good comparison at all. It's like literally,
Yeah.
I just go back. It's like it's all or nothing. It's either you're either gonna have to deal with hearing nothing, or you're gonna have to deal with a car sound that. And people act like they're just going to sound horrible. They're going to refine these. Like it's just now coming out. If you're not if you're not a gamer, just let me educate you a little bit. We see new stuff come out all the time with gaming, and 9 times out of 10, the first rendition of what they deliver us, especially like AAA titles, it is terrible. Like not even worth playing almost. It's pathetic that we give them our money. But you have to realize the this may go the same route. This is a brand new thing that they are implementing as far as the exterior noises go. It's not going to be perfect right off the rip. I mean, what do you think about that?
It seems like they got that pretty good to me.
I'll say that it could have been a deep fake, but like that Dodge video I saw was pretty sad. It was like it was like why it's so cringy. But they might have had that on purpose for like it being a Hellcat. But it was kind of like I didn't like it. It was scuffed for me.
It's all you can change it all, I'm sure. Like I'm sure there's plenty of room for changing it.
Yeah.
I see there being OEM, like I don't know if it's gonna be under the ECU, probably not, but I, I guess stereo system, the OEM stereo system is probably gonna have ways for you to calibrate it different.
I can tell you one person that's going to be very excited about this exterior, like speaker and all that stuff. The dang EPA, dude. They're going to be fired up. You know, not only because it's not a gas vehicle, but like, I don't know if the EPA also deals with the decibel stuff. I know for sure, you know, local police departments do, but there'll probably be a law or a standard where they can't have it past certain decibels, you know, where they can't limit that with our
Yeah.
gas powered engines.
Well, your car's not supposed to be over a certain amount. I can't remember what it is, but I mean, I'm sure the non-gasoline cars will be at the same amount, probably.
I saw a guy pulled over in a, I don't remember what it was, but it was like an import of some sort. Maybe it was a, surely it wasn't a Porsche. I don't know. It was like a nicer like import. And the cop hadn't pulled over, and he's like, "Hey, like, what are you doing revving and stuff?" And he's like, "You know, I'm just out having a good time." The guy was super nice with the cop. The cop was obviously just having a bad day or something. He's like, "Why is your car so loud? You know, it's over certain decibels." And the guy was like, "It's a factory exhaust. I just have it in sport mode." He's like, "Okay, well, you're gonna have to go back to the dealers. Here's a ticket. You have to go back to the dealership, have that sport mode removed out of your car, so it doesn't make such loud decibel readings and all this other stuff." I'm like, "What? What is this? Cop's on like a power trip, telling him to go back to the dealership and have sport mode removed?"
No, I'm pretty sure that's a real thing.
Are you serious, bro?
Yeah.
That is horrible, man. Like,
He was pulled over because it was having like they have like a cackle tune kind of like preset in the sport mode.
okay, so you know the
And
video I'm talking about.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Like that's about like you know Dodge coming out with the Demon and it runs you know a fast enough pass for it to have a roll cage from the factory. It's like they shouldn't be releasing these vehicles when they can't meet certain regulations like that. I mean, what do you think
well,
about?
they changed it because of the Hellcat or the Demon.
Oh, they
He
did.
actually,
What they
yeah, that's
dial it back like 2/10.
they made it where you got to run faster than like 950s, I think.
Oh, really? For a full blown cage, or at least you know
Yeah,
somewhat.
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, you know, I always thought that was wild. It's like they set the target of making a you know that fast of a production car, a street legal car, but yet if you take it to the track, they're immediately gonna tell you you know screw off, go put a cage in. It's like I
Well,
don't
I mean,
know.
modern cars have pretty good safety ratings. I mean,
Yeah, and it also doesn't make sense that Mopar doesn't offer like a cage from their factory because they have all these stupid options on the Hellcat. You know, as far as like jacks and all that crap. You know, the ZL1 or not the ZL1s. The Z28 has AC options. I'm pretty sure Mopar does too. They have all speakers except for the door chime speaker. Like they've got all these options. It just seems like a no brainer for Mopar to just like skyrocket a package that comes with a cage in it. I guess
well,
for
cages aren't going to be used with factory body. Like, in the way they design it is why it doesn't happen. I don't really think they intend for that. I mean, even the GT 350s, 500s, 350R, I mean, they're not even having cages, and
does
they're
the
really fast around like Nürburgring or somewhere.
does the Copo have a cage in it? Which of course it's not street legal, but I'm wondering.
Yeah, I don't know on that. I don't know if the Super Snake that or the Cobra Jet does either.
Huh.
I'm actually interested in that.
Yeah.
1325.
Oh, so there it does come with a cage.
You can
So you could special order one. See, that just seems like that should be an option on the Hellcat, or not the Hellcat, the Demon. Uh, but then again, the Copo kind of gets away with it because it's a non-street legal car. You know, it's
yeah.
primarily for drag, so I guess that's kind of their easy way out. It, it doesn't really make any sense, you know. So this is Dodge's last Charger Challengers, right? Or at least you know their gas naturally aspirated versions.
Yeah, I'm actually looking right now if you wanted to order a Copo, and let's say you wanted the 632,
Yeah,
it's sold out. So good
yeah,
luck getting that.
yeah. I have a coworker that's wanting to buy one. He's told me that they've been sold out for a while.
I imagine so. That's a really killer package from GMO.
Out the box, yeah, dude. Like brand new, no miles on it. 632, super desirable GM motor right now. You know, as far as like the
Yeah.
big power boys go, I mean, it don't get no better than that. And that's GM's last like big boy motor, isn't it? Are they completely discontinuing their gas engines, or are they still going to make some for like drag racing and stuff?
They're not discontinuing gas engines. They just poured like $1 billion into Gen 6 small block research.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot there. But isn't this going to be the last generation, at least that we know of?
Nah, I'm sure it's gonna go further than that.
Yeah.
People can act like we're gonna switch to all electric, but I just couldn't foresee that.
You know, surely the Corvette disproved that because the Corvette showed that they can still use the gas engine with the electric engine.
Well, everyone's argument is just that electric is better on the environment.
I think we're gonna.
But
I
we would have to upgrade our power grid so much it would literally not be possible with what we have right now.
you know we can't dismiss that we'll all be electric. You know, like you know,
I don't
thousand
even
years from
think
now.
it'll be our lifetime.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying it will happen at some point. But I think what we're getting ready to go through, in my opinion, I think that during our lifespan, they'll probably still be almost all naturally aspirated. But I think maybe towards the end of our lives, we will start to see the swap to mostly hybrids. I don't think it's going to go full blown electric. I think we're going to go through a very long phase of hybrids before they go full blown electric.
Yeah, I mean, I think hybrids is better for everyone that wants either gas or performance, like gas saving or performance.
Yeah,
Either way, you're really the best is hybrid, I think, because you still have the reliability of a gasoline car. Like if you can't fucking charge it, just throw some gas in it.
yeah. Well, I don't know how it's set up, but I know my buddy's. I think he's got no, maybe not a spark. I don't know what he's got, but he's got one of those little
They're
electric
all
cars.
electric until you're under so much load or like over a certain speed or you give too much throttle, it'll eventually kick the
Well,
engine on.
I thought the engine was just there to charge the electric batteries for the electric motor.
No,
Well, that's the way his is set up. He don't have to charge his. He just has to put gas in it, and the gas engine charges his electric engine. That's the way his
it
car's set
can
up.
charge it, but usually they have regenerative braking and that's mostly your charging you see.
Oh, okay.
Most cars are plug-in charge somewhere, you know.
Yeah, like a Tesla, like full blown electric.
Like even the Ford hybrids are plug-in, you know.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, I just kind of wanted to dip in. You know, it's something that a lot of people are talking about, and we haven't really personally hit on. And it's just because it's so new. It's so hard to talk about something that isn't really like happening yet. You know, it's all like kind of brand new, and there's a lot of refining to be done. You know, like Jordan said, Borla. I'm sure we'll get a better taste of what they're developing at PRI this year, if I had to take a guess, because you said they had a booth last year.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they'll have a lot more cutting edge stuff to show this year, and I look forward to it. I'm still pretty close minded just because I like the natural. But like I said, it's all or nothing. You're either gonna have it or you're not, because those electric engines, they don't be roaring like these modern day LSs. They just can't.
It's like the most boomer thing to say is like, "Oh, it's not natural." Like,
Yeah.
okay, like an engine isn't natural. Like, And it's just a fucking vacuum pump
A vacuum pump.
combusting some fuel in it. Like,
That's funny. But yeah, with that being said, let's throw it to our gaming, or let's throw it to our ad and then to our gaming topic. So I don't know. This is completely off topic from gaming, but I want to know if you've seen the latest news. I find it super, super ironic because we were literally talking about this last episode for no reason at all. Like I literally just looked up TV shows. But did you see where Squid Games is getting season 2?
yeah,
Isn't that crazy that we were just talking about that and then they released that? Such a weird coincidence.
I could have swore I was talking to someone the other day about that.
Yeah, I saw it on Netflix, or I saw Netflix post season 2, and I'm like, dang, we were literally just doing like a trivia game about that.
Yeah,
That was crazy. It's such weird timing. It's like we knew.
we caught the trend.
Yeah, we were just one step ahead. I don't know how they're gonna do the story because I feel like it's not gonna be as good as the first season because the first
It's
season
not
was
just
phenomenal.
him, it's like other people participating in Squid Game.
Oh, they're redoing a whole nother Squid Game.
Oh, it's still in the same timeline from that's what I think it is. Like, I know there's a story to it, like it's out there.
Hmm. I don't know. I hope they redo the Squid Games, like kind of like how Hunger Games. They did have another Hunger Games, but it was mostly just like political and stuff. I hope there is just like a whole other Squid Games, like the actual game in the game show.
Yeah, it would be fun to see for sure. It's like
Yeah,
Saw, kind of.
yeah. They just history keeps repeating itself.
Hmm.
That'd be funny if like the main guy was number one. He was the new guy. He took over. Uh, I wanted to talk a little bit about Starfield today because you seem to know quite a bit about it, or you've at least heard things about it. I've put about 5 hours in it. I can't say that I've put a lot of into it, but I definitely have my gripes and have my insights. I'm just kind of wondering what you've heard so far, not playing it.
So I know there's a lot of hate that it's not fully explorable map, like world planets. But I just think you're stupid if you think that's going to be a thing with our current, you know, hardware software limitations we have. I mean, to have a game that could do all that. And then the people were complaining about fast travel I saw. What do you want to wait months to travel between planets? Like, you want to wait months in real life? Like, fuck no. I'm trying to play for like an hour or two after I get off work. I don't need that damn whole day I gotta leave my PC on running to load the damn trip through space. Like, people just be on some dummy complaining stuff on this game.
Yeah,
It seems I've seen one thing that showed gunplay didn't look good, but I haven't seen anything else. And you say it sounds good, so
I think
I'm gonna not mention that.
compared to like the old bow and arrow in Skyrim and the guns in
Yeah,
Fallout, the gunplay in Fallout made me want to blow my brains out. Like the only reason the gunplay in Fallout was good because everybody used VATS system, and I hated
yeah,
using VATS. I hate like hold on, let me figure out where I'm gonna shoot this guy. I used VATS on me like 3 times whenever I played my whole Fallout run through because it's like I just hated it. It was not my thing,
ah,
but the gunplay seems extremely smooth. Like there's hit markers. There's like if you get a headshot, it's different hit marker. All that good stuff. Hit registration is flawless. Uh, I did hear though, which I've only got 5 hours. I did hear though the issue a lot of people are having is like the enemies never get more difficult. They just get more health. So it's just like the farther you get along,
that's
they
kind
don't
of annoying. Yeah,
yeah, they don't get any more intelligent. They just become bigger bullet sponges.
that sounds like a typical game, though.
And that's another
Like,
thing too. The variety of enemies that I've heard and I've saw. So far I've just ran into humans, but there are no aliens in the game. There's just like everybody's human, and it's like, man, you went from this like mixing pot of different like breeds and everything else in Skyrim, and now you're in space where you have access to pull off aliens and like different life forms, and you limit us to humans. Like, why did you do that, Bethesda? Like, it just makes no sense.
I don't know. I don't know what the game's story is, so I couldn't really say much on that.
They tease to it. So, what I've seen, I've played like a few missions in the main story. It seems like they really tease at it. Like, there's something else out there. There's got to be something that's trying to find it. Like they really tease it like aliens, and it's like, from what I've heard, you never really see any aliens or fight any aliens. Granted, there's apparently like farm animals you can have on your base that harvest, and they are like alien in looking. You know, they don't look human or not human, but like
Yeah.
earthly. That's and another thing. Oh my god, this is like this grinds my gears worse than I don't even know what high school we live in Barron County High School. Uh, there this might be another. This might bleed into the fast travel gripes that you've been hearing. Uh, there is so many buttons you have to go through just to arrive at a planet. So let's just say you're starting from scratch. You've just flown to a different solar system. Well, you find your place where you want to land. So after you fast travel to the solar system, you then have to open up your map, find where you want to land. You have to hold X to land. Okay, there's a cutscene between then and there. Whenever you land, you have to after you fast travel and then fast travel to the land, and then whenever you land, there's a cutscene. Then whenever you get out, there's a cutscene, and it's the same way whenever you leave. Whenever you get in your ship, it's a cutscene. Whenever you fly off, it's a cutscene. Whenever you go out of the solar system, it's a cutscene. There are literally mod support already that gets rid of all those cutscenes.
Yeah, they can just merge that all into one cutscene.
It is so terrible with how many cutscenes there are. Like, give me a break. Like, I don't need to see my ship launching off every time. Just put me up there. I don't care.
Destiny got it right the first time.
It is so annoying, man. Like, I shouldn't have to. If I want to fast travel somewhere, obviously I want to land there. I don't want to just. I've heard the ship play is okay. It's a little foreign to me just because I'm not.
I know there's a big exploit in the ship play.
I've heard there's an exploit in XP, but you can go ahead and tell me what you heard about the ships.
Well, I seen it, so I know it works.
Okay, what is
So
it?
the AI for the enemy ships target your ship, obviously,
Right.
but they only shoot. They have like crazy good accuracy, so they only shoot the center. So if you just build something with no center, like a cube or something
Uh huh.
that's like hollow, like you just build like it looks like tree branches or some shit almost. They won't fucking shoot you.
That is crazy.
They just miss. They shoot right through like where your tank or your ship would be.
Wow.
It's wild.
Yeah, there. My coworker was explaining to me there's an exploit in like if you own an outpost, you can obviously set up like drills and stuff and mine for the resources on the planet. Apparently, metal frames or some or iron frames don't really weigh much. It was a very specific exploit, but you can just go AFK. It'll sit there and farm the iron, and then you make them into frames. You get the XP from that, and then you just break them back down and then sell the iron. It's like a super
Huh.
crazy exploit. I do like. He told me that one thing that he really liked about it is after you beat the game, it's kind of like a prestige system. So you keep all your traits and your progress into your like XP and stuff, but you lose all your items whenever you restart the story. But when you do, the dialogue completely changes. And I don't know how it changes, but he just said the dialogue completely changes, and you can do that up to 6 times, 4 or 6 times. Oh, I thought that was
Huh.
pretty neat. Uh, One thing that I've heard people complaining about, and I can kind of understand, this is a cutting edge game that supposedly Bethesda's been working on for 9 years. And so they have the same system as Skyrim where, like, any building you want to walk into, you have to go through, like, a super, like, not really long, but you still have to go through, like, a pretty lengthy loading screen just to go, like, on the other side of a door in, like, a small shop. That is
Yeah,
so
and
annoying.
this kind of makes me want to say just this is this game is made by none other than your favorite Bethesda. You know, I just feel like the quality of their games could be so much higher if they wanted.
I
Like,
agree.
there's some features to those games that just make no sense to me.
Yeah. I think I,
Maybe we could do like a whole episode on that. I feel like almost.
like a downfall of Bethesda.
There's just like a things that could be changed from Skyrim slash Fallout slash Starfield.
Yeah. I thought about doing kind of like a Bethesda tier list, but obviously we haven't played anything. I haven't played anything
I
earlier
haven't
than
played a lot of theirs either.
I haven't played anything earlier than Skyrim, and I've only played one of the Fallouts. Uh, Yeah, I will say, if you're not closed minded to Skyrim, which Skyrim, in my opinion, is the best Bethesda game, it is the 10 out of 10 of the Skyrim games. Yes, it's buggy,
Yeah.
but its bugginess makes it that much more hilarious and playable. Like, I just,
It
I,
just works on Skyrim.
I just lose myself like in a foxhole of like Skyrim clips of like some guy gets done talking and he just walks off a cliff or like
Yeah.
just random stuff like that. He goes flying. I love it. But Skyrim, it's just like I don't know. It's just like it's set medieval times. That's another thing too. Every city is uniquely different. Like Riften has that huge river in the center. Like Whiterun, it's like on a big hill. It's like every single city is different, and you, just going between one city and the other is an adventure in and of itself. You never know what you're going to run into just walking around the map. That was one of the bigger gripes I've seen about Starfront Field. Is it Starfield? I always say it wrong.
I
But
don't know why.
Starfield is, uh, yes, you can free travel with your ship. I mean, you can manually fly to different planets. But, I mean, you're just going to run into other ships. There's just nothing really interesting that you're going to run into. It's just going to be the same ships over and over again. It's not really interesting.
Diverse.
Yeah, it's like you're seeing the same stuff. And granted,
It's cheap. It's like, oh, let's just add one little feature to this whole
yeah,
thing. Like,
it's kind of hard to gripe about this because I mean, in reality, that's what space is. It's just a big open, canvas. You got
yeah.
stars and planets, but in Skyrim, it's just so diverse. You've got like raiders and giants and mammoths. Like there's
I'd
just
say Fallout's the same way. It's pretty
it is.
diverse too.
Yeah, it's like exploring is literally like such a fun thing just to do for hours. Just see what you can run into walking around the woods. Like it's so crazy, but it's like you don't get that refreshing feeling on Starfield. It's like you might as well, you might as well just fast travel everywhere because there's literally nothing to see in between. It's kind of sad. It's like that's what half the fun in Skyrim was just like running around everywhere. I don't even remember fast traveling that much in Skyrim unless it was like I was crunched on time or I just like really wanted to get something done because there was just so much fun. And you could almost like find cool stuff and loot if you just like walked your way to places.
Yeah.
I'll never forget like walking up. Did you ever play Skyrim all the way through?
Nah, yeah, I did actually. I did beat it.
I'll never forget the
I don't
time.
remember a lot of it though.
You might remember this. I just remember, I don't know what city it's outside of, but I was like walking up to a city and then I stumble upon like some satanic dude and he's like, hey, do you want to join the Brotherhood? I'm like, excuse me? And it's like the Dark Brotherhood. Did you ever run into them?
I don't remember.
They're just like have this cave out in the middle of nowhere and they're all like wearing satanic robes and they harvest goats and stuff. It's crazy.
I could just see that being in like an episode of King of the Hill. Like, you
Oh
want to
my
join the
God.
Brotherhood?
Del Gribble puts his tinfoil hat on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of refreshing because it's a new Bethesda game. We haven't got one in so many years. It does play extremely similar to Fallout and Skyrim. A lot of the controls are the same. It's got I wouldn't say it's got the same UI, but as far as how you interact with people feels very similar to Skyrim. I would my first impression was okay, this is just Skyrim in space. Uh,
Yeah.
it is that. I would still say that it is that. It's just it's not as it's becoming not as fun as I thought it was going to be. Whereas Skyrim really like kept my interest. Like I knew there was always something to do.
Replay it.
Yeah, and now it's like I don't know. Starfront just seems very linear. If I'm really being honest about it, I've heard like the main story you can beat in like 8 hours, six hours if you really hit it hard. Uh, I don't know. Like on Skyrim, it felt impossible to like. There was half the time I didn't even know what the main storyline was because like all the side quests were so like
Yeah.
diverse and in depth, and that kind of seems what Starfield is like. But the main story, from what I've heard, is just like it's very boring compared to the side quests that are in their game, and that's kind of disappointing because I would say that Skyrim's main story was just
Yeah.
as good, if not better, than all the side quests in the game. Granted, they were amazing. There was some really fun ones to do, but here we go with Starfield, where I'm already hearing that the story is lackluster. The main story, it kind of sucks that they dropped the ball on the main story, but put all their time and
Didn't
energy
he
into
say it
side
was going to
quests.
take like quite a long amount of time to complete the story?
I well, the Xbox has a built-in like a get calculator. Some guy like calculates how long it takes to beat the game, and I think it was 18 hours. Uh, that's just like that doesn't seem like that long of an amount of time. 18 hours. You got to think that's if you hit it hard, you could beat the game in 2 days if you really wanted to. That's just 9 hours each day. That's like very accomplishable. Uh,
If you wanted to be the guy in their basement all weekend.
yeah, I have heard people like really getting into it, and I was into it too. 3 hours flew by in no time the first time I sat down and played. Uh, but like I said, it's just new and fresh, and that's kind of what's got me encapsulated right now. But I definitely think Bethesda dropped the ball. If they are going to hold this idea of we've been working on this game for 9 years, I'm going to hold them to it because if you've been
Yeah,
working on a game for 9 years, granted
Call of Duty don't even take that long to come out, and it's pretty good. The quality is kind of the same.
yeah, it is polished. I haven't found any glitches or bugs, but that's the sad part because glitches and bugs are fixed, relatively easy.
I know there's some like would you call it a glitch? On like Skyrim, you can throw a bucket over someone's head and still, well, you can like shove stuff into buckets on there and steal through like really small hit boxes.
That's hilarious. No, I didn't know that.
I don't know if I'd consider that a bug or not.
But what I was kind of getting at is like Skyrim, or for having this for 9 years, and they have issues that aren't they people are having issues with non-bug related issues such as the story, the fast travel system. It's like these are super crucial parts of the game that should I don't man I they can't
The
change the
reason it
story.
takes 18 hours is you gotta load through them load screens,
That's
dog.
right. Like they can't remake the story, and I've already heard that they're already working on DLC. I guess that might be their way of doing damage control. They're like, "Oh no, we can make a DLC. It'll fix it." Uh,
Buy it.
it's still got a 7 from IGN, and I think that's fair. From what I've played, I think it might have could got closer to like an 8. It's not that terrible. It is a fun game. I think a lot of people are just. It's got such a high bar to hit, following up Fallout and Skyrim. It's not going to hit that bar, and I think a lot of people aren't going to be able to get over that. I don't think it deserves a 10 or a 9. I think an 8 is pretty generous of me, but I'm keeping in mind that it is not Skyrim, and it's never going to be Skyrim. And same with Fallout. It's not going to be Fallout. It's its own thing, and it's something completely new. I don't know.
I would say Rock and Stone is superior.
Rock and Stone, that is. We got to do an episode on indie games because they do not get
We
enough
do, yeah.
appreciation. That game is so crazy in depth for it. I'm sure it don't cost
You can
nothing.
really put some time into it.
Yeah, yeah, that game. I hope the developers got some money out of that one because that game was very unique. Uh,
It's definitely like one of a kind, I think. Like,
if you got game,
never seen nothing like it.
if you got Xbox Game Pass, you should definitely check out Deep Rock Galactic this weekend because it is actually a lot of fun, and it's just like such a random game. Like we don't even usually refer to it as its actual title. We just call it Rock and Stone
Yeah.
because like you could press a certain key and your like dwarf just yells random stuff about rocks and stones, and it's great. It's like a mining in space kind of deal, like on alien planets. You got different objectives. It's a lot of fun actually.
Yeah, I think we could do a tier list
Over what,
over
indie games?
indie games, yeah.
I think people would be disappointed to see me put Castle Miner in S tier.
I already know Binding of Isaac would be too.
I don't really know if you consider that an indie game or not, and I don't think I'd put it in S tier. It is a lot of fun, but I have to kind of understand. Wow, that's not really a lot of people's favorite game type. It
Yeah.
it's very religious, and a lot of people don't vibe with
Hmm.
that. It's
Believe me, I
religious.
don't care.
It's religious in some weird standpoints. Uh, Speaking of indie games, I wanted to wrap up with this. So this, let me look at my calendar right here, right quick. Okay, so uh, the next time we'll be on the podcast, we would have played Party Animals, which I am super excited about. So we can kind of talk about what we want to anticipate and what we want to see from that. Ironically, we're doing more coverage for Party Animals than we are any other game, and this is like a small indie game project.
Yeah.
But it's right up our alley. We're so obsessed with Gang Beasts. Such a fun game to play with the homies. And here we go with a more refreshed and, uh, newer version of Gang Beasts, essentially.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how the combat is. Like, it could be a completely different game in some aspects.
I've seen just like very small snippets. Of course, the beta was last weekend. It doesn't seem like it's going to have the maneuverability as far as like how you do extreme gymnastics on maps that Gang Beasts will have. Not saying that that isn't possible, but from what I've been seeing, most of the characters seem kind of grounded. I don't know. That will take away from the fun because I
Drop
feel like
kicks or anything? You seen any of that?
like I said, I've seen really small snippets, and most part I've just been seeing people use weapons and items. Uh,
Yeah, it kind of seems like it's more focused towards that.
yeah, that's gonna kind of suck because I feel like that's half the fun of Gang Beasts is like being able to do
Using
stuff.
your fist.
Yeah, that and like doing stuff the developers would probably like be like, "What's this dude doing? How did he figure out how to do this?" Jordan
Yeah,
is up there like doing whatever.
I think that's part of the fun of a game is I think that's something developers can take away too, is they can take your idea and kind of do their own take on it. People can.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I think some developers kind of hate on that, but if the community kind of really favors it, I'd say try and benefit from it.
Yeah, that's where we have like indie games. They are pretty good about listening to their community. So
Yeah, for sure.
we'll see. Only of I don't know how many people actually pre-ordered this game. I would honestly say not a lot because it's going to be free on Game Pass. So I'm sure that definitely hurt their pre-sales. But hopefully they're getting a good kickback. But I feel like a lot of people are
Yeah.
going to play through the Game Pass, and they'll get a lot more feedback after they do the full release. And I'm sure a
I
lot
mean,
of
I'm
people.
just glad to see the game finally come out.
Yeah, man, I definitely gave up on it at one point. I was like, man, this is. I've been in this Discord for 2 years now. Come on now, like give me something. And there was like, right before they fully announced it, there was some serious radio silence. Like they went, I think their last dev vlog was like in December, and they announced the game like sometime in June or July. So it was like a good like 5 months, 5 6 months of like nothing but radio silence from like the devs. And
They
it's
were
like,
grinding to get it out.
yeah, they either dropped the ball or they're hitting it hard, either one or the other. So I was definitely giving up on them towards the end there. It's depressing to see a game that you're so excited about possibly lose traction and drop off. I would probably been pretty upset if they didn't fully release this game. Honestly, I just have so much fun with Gang Beasts, and I'm sure this game's going to be just as fun.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be.
So we'll and be we might end up streaming it. So definitely turn on notifications for our YouTube channel. That's probably where we're going to try to stream it at. We don't seem to get too many people on Twitch, so we thought we'd try the YouTube live. So subscribe to our YouTube, and maybe we'll go live on some Party Animals. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
With that being said, guys, we'll throw it to a quick outro, and we'll catch you guys in the next one or on a live. I hope you enjoyed the episode as much as we did. If you did, be sure to go visit our social medias. Definitely hit up our TikTok and our Instagram. We have a lot of fun interacting with you guys outside of the show. And if you want to keep up with us, definitely follow us on there. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next one.